To be here. So hello, if you're joining us on Insta, thank you for joining. I see we've got Danielle with us from the Kindred, lovely to see you. We've got the book taster, great to see you on Instagram. And yeah, wonderful, lovely to see you over there. And if you're joining us here on Facebook or on YouTube, hello and happy Tuesday. Great to have you with us here today. So pop on and say hello. Let us know how you're doing and how your day is going. Hey, good to see you.
Pop on. I've been connecting with the book taster actually, so lovely to see you on this live. So yeah, really great. Yeah, hello, love hearts and books all
love the books. We love the books. Yeah, English
I know, tell me about it. I think I said that to you in our DMs actually. Yeah, sucker for books, right? Sucker for literature. So Sarah and I go live once a week. We try to be consistent with this, and I say try because consistency is important, but at the end of the day, we're mothers, we're business women, you know, life sometimes can take over, but we're doing really well, Sarah. So like virtual high five.
High five for showing up consistently. It's the hardest thing, I think, but we're doing it. Yeah.
So last night we went live over in the Catalyst community, and we were talking all about how to kind of start a purpose-led business. That was great. Like I really loved last night's conversation. We had some really great comments from people, really great questions from people as well, which also got us thinking. But today we're talking all about who do you think you are and how to show up authentically.
Brilliant. So how to show up authentically. So when we were planning this, my first question to Rebecca was, what do we mean by authentic? What does that word mean? Because it's a word that can be bandied around quite a lot. Be authentic.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. We hear it a lot, don't we? It's
kind of 2020 buzzword, 2020, right. 2021 buzzword, right? Let's be authentic.
Yeah, and what does that really mean? So that's what we're going to talk about today. What does it mean to show up authentically? What do we mean when we use that word authentic so that it's actually meaningful? And when we talk about being authentic, we're talking about not just us in businesses, but in all aspects of our lives, of our personal lives, our professional lives, in our careers and our businesses. So what does it mean for you, Rebecca, do you think, to be authentic? What does it mean when you hear that word?
It's funny because it's not a word that was in my vocabulary, so to speak, when I was employed in teaching, right? I just was like, I am who I am.
Right.
And that actually now is my definition of being authentic.
Right.
I am who I am. Yeah. I show up, warts and all, right?
Yeah.
You know, you take me as I come, and I'm comfortable with that. And that's the next part, right? Being comfortable for me and being at peace with who I am. Right. Now, there's a difference between, you know, development, because I think we can all grow and we can all develop. And I'm open to that. I'm open to kind of listening about the traits that are maybe not so favorable, right? Because we all have things that can bug people. But for me, it's about being at peace with myself and knowing that I am waking up, I am kind of walking my truth, I'm living my life.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Right.
Living my life for me, and in order to achieve that happiness, that feeling of happiness that I seek for.
Wow, what a beautiful definition of authenticity. That's really great. But also, let me commend you because it takes a lot of bravery to do that. Psychologically, it really does take bravery for a couple of reasons. One is because as women, one of our drivers, according to transactional analysis, one of our drivers is that be perfect driver.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah,
a big
yeah. I have
part,
it.
you hear me, you got
I
it.
have
Big part
it.
of that be perfect driver is being perfect according to
Mm,
what other people expect of us. So actually stepping into actually who I am and being honest and open about our flaws and about our shortcomings
yeah.
really, really takes bravery. And the second sort of psychological reason it takes bravery to be authentic and to embrace our own quirks and our own uniqueness is because we evolved as human beings to be part of a tribe. And so
Mm,
one of our most deep rooted fears is to do anything or to say anything that may put us in a position where we might be rejected from that tribe.
mhm, mhm.
So when we're showing up here, when we're on Instagram, when we're on Facebook, when we're putting ourselves out there, being visible, putting ourselves out there publicly, there's a real risk for us psychologically that we might say something or do something that people might not like and they might reject us. We might be rejected from the tribe. And of course that happens because when we put ourselves out there, some people will love us and love our message, and some people won't. And it's a process, isn't it, to get to that point of being okay with that.
I'm gonna go for 2 points when you've just been talking. So
Okay.
you spoke about the being perfect driver, right?
Mm,
And coupled with the being perfect driver is another one that I have or had actually was the people pleasing. So
yes.
making you, I was the yes person. I was, when in my employed days, I was the yes person. Don't worry, I will mark those extra pile of books. I will take those exam papers home. I will make everyone else's life easier and mine just a little bit harder, but as long as I was the one that was pleasing and keeping everyone else happy, right? And when we talk about showing up, Sarah, right, it's hard to show up.
Yeah.
And I think some people may think people on social media find it easy to show up,
Yeah.
but blimey, it's hard to show up. It's hard to be consistent. It's hard to be vulnerable, right?
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
this is vulnerability at its
Yeah.
finest.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not scripted. It's us as we are on a Tuesday, makeup free, in our environment, our comfortable environment. But this is authenticity. This is
Mhm.
showing up because we have a mission, we have a purpose, and we are driven by that mission and that purpose. And that's what brings us here. That's what elevates us to show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I don't think I asked you what your definition of authenticity was.
Yeah. So I think it's for me, I think probably very similar to yours. I don't know if I can explain it quite so articulately as you did actually. To for me it is, as you say, it's about showing up and it's about being happy and being comfortable in our
Yeah.
own skin and being transparent about that, being transparent about who we are. And that's how I would define it. And I really want to add to this as well about authenticity and transparency, particularly in relation to the coaching world that we're in. The coaching world is it's an interesting world publicly. Those of you watching may not be aware of this, but because the coaching industry is currently still unregulated, anybody can say I'm a coach.
Mhm.
Anybody can put themselves out there as a coach. And so actually in the coaching world, in that very public arena, there can be a lot of inauthenticity. Is that even a word? Inauthenticity? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
make it a word. It's a word
We'll make
today.
it a word. We'll make it a word. And for us, and I think a lot of this comes from our background as teachers, we we really feel strongly about transparency and about being authentic in terms of the qualifications that we have, the training that we have, you know,
100%.
or the coaching supervision that we do where we reflect on our practice, and following the processes and procedures. Really we take it very, very seriously. And the reason that we do that is because when we're working with people, especially when we're working with people one-to-one, we're dealing with people's lives and we're doing work on
Mm.
mindset. And so it's absolutely essential for us that we really are completely authentic, in terms of keeping up with our professional development and all of that stuff. And sadly, that's you know, it's not necessarily the norm. Anybody can put themselves out there as a coach and tell you that they can change your life. So so authenticity in that arena is super, super important to us, right?
It's really, really important. And, you know, I think eventually the coaching industry will become regulated. We're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting
we're
there.
getting there. But I think it's about us as individuals doing our due diligence. Ooh, that was a bit of a tongue twister. But our due diligence and just checking and researching and just making sure that we're safeguarding ourselves as well as being expected from other people to safeguard us as well. Welcome to the DD company, Flip Flops, to Chanel and Tracy Harris Living. Thank you for joining us over on Instagram. If you have any questions for us on how to show up authentically, or you know who you think you are, definitely drop them in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram, because we'd love to hear from you. I think top tips now. I think we're kind of here on how we can explore who we think we are and how we can show up authentically. So for me, the who do you think you are is a constant process of growth. And I think we change each and every day. We change each and every single day. And it's about identifying that growth, identifying that change, and continuing to grow and change from there. But for me, I think one of the most greatest exercises I ever did was writing down who I thought I was. I know that sounds really silly, right? So I started off writing, I am a mother, I am a sister, I am a daughter. And then my coach years ago said, well, is that all you are?
Right.
And the roles for me was my explanation of who I am. But actually, we are more than the roles that we play.
Exactly.
Oh, gosh. So
amazing.
With my daughter, I am brave, I'm confident, I'm strong, like she's 4, right? And these develop into like our affirmations, but exploring who we are, like I can be a bit of a perfectionist, I can be a bit controlling, like I am who I am, you know. I've got a bit of a D in my personality when we look at DISC. So I would really think getting comfortable with journaling or sitting down with a voice recorder and just telling yourself, like, who am I? Or asking friends and family, like, what are the 3 top qualities that you think I bring? Or what are the 3 kind of areas for development that you think I could work on?
I love
what
that.
About you, Sarah? What would you do when you're exploring who do you think you are?
Oh, that's really interesting. So I look back at my values. It always comes back to values. So my top 3 values are love, growth, so personal growth and helping other people to grow, and contribution, making a difference. And those things have driven me, not just as a coach, but have driven me from the very beginning, even before I was a teacher, all the way through, although I wouldn't have been able to articulate my values
back then, right?
Back then, right? Now I can, because I've done the work, done the coaching work, and I can do that and help my clients to do that, and I love it. So when I'm like, who am I? It really comes back to values. I'm like, is what I'm saying, is what I'm doing aligned with my values? And if it's not aligned with my values, if I'm not doing work I love or working with people I love, if I'm not growing, if I'm not making a difference, I'm in the wrong place. I'm not me. And that's where it comes. That's the core of authenticity for me. When I'm out of alignment, when I'm inauthentic, it's when I get drawn into somebody else's values. So the 6-figure world of, you know, it's all about the money and it's not about the people. That's not for me.
It's not our world, Sarah. That's not the world we live in.
It's not our world. It's not our world.
Not our world.
Because for us, it's about purpose and it's about authenticity. And that's why we work so well together, is because we have that alignment of values.
And that could be quite shocking to some people, actually. If people are listening to this thinking, oh my gosh, like that's not your world, that's okay, because we are really, really content and really happy with that. And one thing that we heavily discussed this when we came into partnership together, actually. We really did explore our values. I need to find a picture. I'm going to post it on our Instagram of like our values exercise. And we were in London in one of our favorite hotels. And we had post-it notes all over the place, right? They must have thought we were crazy in the lobby where we were sitting, because we were like, oh my God, we have to really nail this. Like, we have to, first of all, expose what our values are,
Yeah, yeah.
See which ones are kind of cohesive with each other.
Yeah.
And we really found a lot of duplicates when we were matching them up, didn't we?
Yeah, yeah.
But that was what I think. Do you know what, Sarah? That was probably my moment of I've actually chosen the right person to go into business with.
Oh, I'm so glad, because if I'd written the wrong things on those Post-it notes, you'd be like, "I'm so
Oh my
sorry, Sarah,
God.
but this is not gonna
I
work
would
out."
I would have been like, this is just really not gonna this is not gonna work. This is not gonna work.
No,
But it's
100%.
true.
It's really true, and it's true for all of us listening, whether you're in business or whether you're in a career, that discovering what your personal values are and ensuring that those personal values are aligned with the values of the organization that you're working in, super, super important, because if
Yeah.
they're not, it's really difficult, because then it's really, really hard to be authentic. And when we're not authentic, it affects our sense of purpose, our sense of integrity, our energy, all of it. So that is it. That is the key and the core of authenticity for me.
This was good. This
Right.
was therapeutic, right? So if you're still with us, thank you for still being with us. We've got one big question actually from Facebook, and I'll go to the Instagram ones in a second. Maybe Sarah, you can read the Instagram comments. So Facebook said, or Facebook user said, roles are part of who I am, but a lot of my identity is about how I am being. My values, my strengths, my personal and professional passions really help me to articulate this. But when I'm out of alignment, I feel it in my energy and my emotions. Here
Mm,
to that. You're not
exactly.
alone with that one.
No, 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 no. And we all have roles to play, and that is the nature. But you're absolutely right. Allowing you to, yeah, to have those things, those values, strengths and passions, to articulate who you are, and you feel it when you're out of it, when you're out of alignment, you feel it in your energy and emotions. Amazing. What an amazing comment. Thank you
Mm.
so much for sharing that with us. And yes, okay, so we've got Flip Flops to Chanel agreeing with us that regulation in the coaching industry is a very good idea. We're 100% with you there. And thank you. And you also said, Flip Flops to Chanel, what a brilliant way to find a suitable business partner. Yeah, and I think that came, because we had all, prior to coming together, we'd had our own individual businesses, and we'd done the work on values, and we knew that that was really important. But yeah, it was such a simple exercise. We literally had a pack of Post-it notes, we wrote down the values, and then we looked at what matched in the middle. And
Yeah.
yeah, and it worked, it matched. And then we were like, okay, now let's rank order those, and what are the most important of those values that are actually key and core to the business that we have. And that was how we started. That was pretty much the first thing that we did together before we registered the business or anything. We were like, let's start with the values. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I'm the timekeeper of the duo, those of you who don't know us, and we we're on 17 minutes. So
We're on 17 minutes.
yeah,
It means
yeah,
farewell for now.
it means farewell for now. But we'd love to hear from you guys. What does authenticity mean for you? Have you done work on your values? And do you feel that there is alignment between your personal values and the work that you do? Or is there sometimes a disconnect? And when there's a disconnect, what happens for you? We'd really love to hear. Okay.
And if you are not part of our free community over on Facebook, feel free to join us over at the Coaching Catalyst community. We would love to have you there. And also coming up next week, we have our Monday lives at 8 p.m. over in our Facebook community. We also have our regular kind of Tuesday, Wednesday, midday lives. We've got How to Be Seen and Heard showing up on the 22nd of March, and How to Own Your Time, Find Balance and Prioritize your well-being on Monday the 21st at 8 p.m. That's definitely it for us for now.
That's it for us. And just quick hello to Danielle over on Instagram. I see you've joined us as well. So thank you for being there. Okay, we're going to wrap up now. And thank you so much for joining us today.